Yay, okay. Hello and welcome to the Anime Nerds podcast. I'm not very creative with names, so that's what it's going to be called. I've never done a podcast before, but I've always wanted to, and I have with me two guests here who I will dub Matt and Nigel, because it's easier to say that.
Okay.
Can
Okay,
you
I can work
say,
with
say,
that.
say hello?
Hello,
Hello
hello.
there.
Yay! All right. So the way the podcast is going to work is every week it's going to follow a similar format of two different questions. We're going to have a discussion, which will periodically be changed out because if it's the same discussion every time, it's because it's not like new anime will come out every single week and such or anything. So it'll be switched out different periodically for different discussions, and the final will be an anime battle, and that will be displayed at the beginning so the audience or you guys can do a little bit of research beforehand. And today's battle will be Revy from Black Lagoon versus Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. And it does not have to end in a death. It is simply who you would feel come out on top in a one-on-one melee or weapon-related matchup.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have
Oh,
fun visuals, hopefully. First question we have is a bit of a simple one because, to get people started off on where we might lie on the anime fan spectrum, but what's your favorite anime? And I'll let one of you two go first if you would feel it, whichever one is more comfortable starting off.
okay. I guess I'll go first, but my favorite anime is 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 I think the Seven Deadly Sins, and since I kind of just I want just like of how each of them are very like OP is a story and like of how no mortal people can take them on except for like the group ones. But yeah, that's my favorite anime, and it's a very good one and watch. And yeah,
I really enjoy that one too. Uh, and Nigel, you want to go next? I'll go last. I can think it's fair.
Okay. Yeah, that's the worst. Right now, I have two animes that are on my top favorites right now. They're tied in space, so I'm going to say Monster Musume and One Piece. I'm a guy that love. I'm just a guy who like monster girls, and also love series that have deep lore. But One Piece takes the cake because it's a lore. It takes lore is so deep. It takes 20 years to fully explore the series. And I gotta say, Monster Musume was the first manga section. It was the first manga that I bought with my own money at the time.
Oh, that's
So they
interesting.
both so they both hold some good places in my heart with these two animes. I have seen both animes. Well, I actually still watching One Piece, so I still got some love with these two series.
Well, all right. I have not seen Monster Musume, but I have seen a bit of One Piece, and I enjoy the earlier stuff. For my favorite anime, it is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, or Gurren Lagann for short. I've said this many times on my channel, but it's the first anime I ever watched through fully, and I connect so much with all the characters. It's very inspirational for me. The animation, the story, the action, even some of the quotes are mean so much to me. And I have a collector's edition of the DVD, which costs like $45. I have two figures, I have a poster, I have a hat, I have a necklace with one of the pendants that the character wears. It's just a very important anime to me, and it kind of just sparked this love for this genre that I feel like, even though it's becoming more and more mainstream, doesn't get as much credit or love as it probably deserves. Uh,
So in a way, you can say you believe in us, I believe in you.
yes, exactly. Although I feel like the Discord icon kind of gives the gives my love a little bit away, just a bit. Makes it a
Okay.
little obvious. Anyway, that's simple. Something to start off. We're gonna go with the next question, which is a bit less simple. Where was it again? I have the podcast. Okay. Um, Now this one, there's oftentimes people have a discussion of if you watch a show, and this speaking artistically, cause not personally. Do you think a generic or mediocre anime is artistically worse than a bad anime? It doesn't mean just anime, like anything. Like the point of art is to make an impact, and even if it's bad, you can say oh, it made an impact, and you'll remember it. But if it's generic, you'll like forget about it in a day, and it feels like it doesn't, you know, do what it's supposed to do. So do you feel like artistically something generic, like maybe let's say Black Clover, which is just kind of like a regular shonen, doesn't do much new, is worse than say maybe something like Soul Eater Not, which is just all around pretty bad.
Hmm. I guess. Hmm. I guess it's for me, yeah, the pretty much a dot it 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 of the art style. So I never uh, like looked into that stuff, but um I guess we just like talking about the looks or something. Then it would just depend on just the story and all that of where it's going and of what do you want it to look like a, and what percent and of people who are going to like this style is what I think.
Well, I know I said artistically, and it might have been a little confusing, but I meant that in terms of like, if one of us were to watch a show, personally, like, a lot of people would say they'd rather watch something mediocre because they wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm just, watching something I don't like. But I mean, like, do you think it's worse for like an artist to make something generic or make something bad?
Okay, now I get it.
Sorry if it was a little confusing.
In that case, I don't think it's bad for artists as is I would make them generic and I would just so long as it makes sense and for the story I want to try and tell them um because I know animation and events and all that, so it would have to look generic and stuff. If if I just for the sake of cost or whatever, then yeah. But
Okay.
Oh
Uh,
boy, this is gonna be a little bit longer than you thought. Okay. At first, I had an answer, but my answer was for a different question, so I gotta flip the answer around. Here's
uh,
my answer
do
for
you
that
want me to go
question.
first while you think about it, or do you have an
No,
answer
I
right
got
now?
my answer.
Okay, all right.
While the question was up, I had my answer.
Okay.
So here's my answer to the question. Uh, for me, I have no problem with the art style, but when you said something generic or mediocre compared to something that's terrible, this goes back to my history of watching anime. I have seen some one of the worst animes out there, and I've seen some mediocres and some awesome animes out there. But the way I have to say is this: it doesn't really matter for the art is all not art. It's art not our choice for the artwork. It's mostly for the artist's work. So like for Oda when he drew One Piece, if I remember right, he originally wanted to just make up a simple pirate story. But look at the series now; it's 20 years later, and the show is still going on. And then we got something like Bleach, which was considered one of the best shonen animes. One is not considered generic in our eyes now. For me, I just say that it could just be that our time is different from animes back then. I mean, who knows? One day that one of the best animes ever created, Cowboy Bebop, may could be considered generic to the next top anime in 20 years from now. Not saying that might happen, but it could happen. You just gotta remember one thing: anime is a fluctuating change. It's like how people change. What may be considered generic for one person may just be considered awesome for another person, or it may be considered the worst anime I've ever seen. Like for me, I have seen what's the anime called? Pupa. I did not like the anime, but for one of my friends said it was just a simple generic incest story compared to Eramonga Sensei, and I was like, okay, now I see the comparison now, but I still consider that anime bad tier. But for my friend, he sees that just a generic incest anime. So it just all depends on the person, and depends on what you're watching, or depends on your taste in anime. So just gotta remember, for one person, it could be generic, but for another person, it could be awesome, and for another person, it could just be worse.
That's fair. Um, as an artist myself, because I actually like write stories and such, and I plan on being like an actual published author at some point in my
Same
life.
here.
Huh?
Same here. Like I'm writing a book as well. But yes,
Oh, okay.
back to
But normally, like from an artistic standpoint, one would say like the point of making anything like art, like whether it's a movie, a show, a painting, a drawing, a book, or something, you want to make like some sort of impact on the audience. That's what art is supposed to do, make an emotional impact, or whether it be a positive impact or a negative impact, depending on what the purpose of said artwork is. Like that's the entire purpose of it, either for entertainment or to share a message. And if that artwork is pretty much the same as a lot of other things out there, that impact is lessened. And one would say the idea of what it's trying to go for is sort of like dampened, and it feels not as genuine. But for like something bad or say, it's like someone's like, "Oh yeah, that was terrible," but I know what it was saying, and I might not like it, but I know what it was. It stuck out to me. So from that point, some people would say that. But personally, as an artist, coming from what I would think, if I want people to react to what I'm doing, I would say I would much rather have it be generic because as someone who's like, I am not the best with criticism, and I feel like something good can come from a generic piece, and something bad can make people, oh, don't do that. But something generic can be like, you were trying, but it's like you need to take a step up. So that's how I feel it, personally speaking. Because there's many different ways you can look at it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think of it completely through, but that's what I think.
okay.
All right, so that's the questions out of the way. Next podcast will be a bit more in depth with like more advanced questions, I should say. But now we're going on to discussion, which is what anime are you currently watching? Whether it be something new that's currently airing, like are you watching the new My Hero Academia season, or are you watching I watching maybe Steins Gate Zero, or are you watching Darling in the Franxx, or are you rewatching something that you saw in the past, like if you're rewatching an anime that you really like, or are you watching something that you haven't seen before that's older, like if you've never seen, I don't know, Black Lagoon, and you're watching it now, you'd be like, oh, I've never seen it before, but I'm watching it now, like that kind of thing. And it's not.
Okay. Well, the thing here it was is the Cowboy Bebop and Black Lagoon thing. Because I've heard of Cowboy Bebop, but I've never seen the Black Lagoon, and I was wondering getting into it. But the anime the one that I'm watching now, it was so by Walk by now. I was planning on after that watching Cowboy Bebop or something, just give people at the what it is, since I've heard a lot good things about it.
So
Yeah,
that's all you're
but
watching right now?
what?
That's all you're watching right now? Are you watching anything currently? Like anything in the new season, or?
Oh, currently is the a show by Walk, which is a music anime. That I thought I might want to try, and that's what I'm watching right now. Almost done with it. Yeah, I'm currently watching right now.
Oh, okay. Like what? I don't think I've heard of that one. What do you think of it? Because I haven't heard of that one before.
Um, eh, it's it does have like a really good like dub too. Also, but the thing about the dub uh, is like since it's a musical anime, annually all the songs and all dubbed in English.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty nice. That they managed I want to get all the songs and in English, which but yeah, and and that and well, also I'm enjoying it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Nigel, what are you currently watching?
Right now, let's see. I have a list right now. I have a lot of animes I'm watching right now. But I have to say, the main anime I'm watching, I find myself watching every single day since would be One Piece. When I saw One Piece first as a kid when I like about maybe like five, no not five, like about 15 years ago when it first came out on the Fox Box, back when we were being dubbed by 4Kids. At that time, I didn't know what the show was much about, and I didn't know about anime as much, so I wasn't really watching the show every Saturday as it should have been. Here I am now, older, 10 years older, 22, and I'm like, damn, I should have been watching that show when I was younger, so I could be caught up by now. So right now, I'm just happy to say I passed 230 episodes in of the series after 3 months, not 3 months, 5 months of watching it. So I would say I've been watching One Piece, the anime, and I like the series. In fact, I like the series so much I'm watching the filler arcs. And
Ooh.
most people say the filler arcs are not that good, but I'm like, it's decent, but some of the filler arcs have some canned elements. So I've been watching so just to get through them. But yeah, the other anime I have said I'm watching not as much Mare. I've been watching that since when it first came out. Tsunami. Only sad part was when Tsunami stopped sharing it. They stopped airing it. They stopped halfway in the series with 52 episodes. Only for me to find out there's 104 episodes in
Ooh.
Japanese dub. I mean Japanese subbing. So I had to watch a whole nother 152 episodes to watch it.
What was it called again? Mare?
Mare, March Skin Awaken Romance.
Oh, okay. I can't say I've heard of that one either. I didn't see too much of Toonami back in the. I saw Toonami when it was like first starting out, but it was like a middle period where I didn't see too much of it.
It came out like in 2006 or 7 or so.
Okay.
2006 or 7, I believe. I'm not really sure the year. But it came out back when I was in the middle school, and I kind of like the show. You should really watch it if you get a chance to.
Okay. Well, the anime I'm currently watching, I have a Funimation account, so I've been keeping up with some of the new seasons and such. I just started Darling in the Franxx episode. I think I'm on episode 2 now, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm seeing like hints of some of the old stuff because Trigger is like made a former Gainax employees who made stuff like Evangelion and Gurren Lagann and Fooly Cooly, which is also coming out soon, which I can't wait
Yeah.
for. I'm really excited for the new Fooly Cooly because it was such a weird, odd little show that kind of was made to not be understood. And I enjoyed it for what it was. And I'm also watching season 3 of My Hero Academia, which I am loving so much, and I can't wait until it comes on DVD so I can buy it, as well as season 2 when it hopefully comes into a combo pack, because currently it's in two different parts and I don't want that. And I'm also watching Steins Gate Zero, and I can't give away my thoughts on that yet because I'm doing a review on that when it finishes. And if I say anything, it'll probably, spoil any audience who are like, ooh, I can't wait for that. But yeah, I can't really spoil anything about that, but I'll just say pretty much everything I'm watching, I am enjoying quite thoroughly. I'm not really rewatching anything right now, though. So I just mostly just like new stuff that I've either been like waiting for and excited for, or just never seen before, but wanted to check out because I've wanted to see. Well, I was waiting for My Hero Academia for a while. I didn't know if I want to watch Zero, and Darling in the Franxx is one that kind of took me off guard, and I was like, oh, I might check that out, and I ended up kind of liking it.
Oh. Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh. Nothing.
Oh, you're probably hinting at something that happens in the future, aren't you? In Darling in the Franxx.
But the thing with that anime, is that I haven't watched it yet, and like mostly because is like when I first saw it, it all the mechs lined up. I thought it was uh, like a discount Power Rangers.
Oh my god!
It's what I honestly thought.
Ah. All right, because of like the different kind of like suits and such. I guess. I mean, from what I've watched so far, I would say it's like thematically very different from what Power Rangers is. Because like Power Rangers is more campy.
I saw some of the clips, and I am now regretting my teeth in that.
Yeah, because like thematically, the two shows don't. It's like comparing. I don't really have a comparison, but it's like I've never really seen too much of the old Power Rangers though. Like I was never too much of a Power Rangers guy growing up.
Were you a Kamen Rider fan then?
No.
Publicist.
Oh,
Not quite for a minute, but uh, to watch it's the west of it, but then there was other stuff that came up, just wanted to watch, and it just got buried on me, and yeah.
Hmm. Well, we've got past the discussion part a little faster than I would have figured, but here comes the fun one. It's time for the versus battle, which is what everyone's favorite part is. And we get to see two people kill each other, or not. I don't know. You can specify if you think it would end up in a death or not. It really doesn't matter. And it's not going to be tallied up as a vote, like saying, like, oh, whoever gets the most votes wins. It's more of just, a fun little discussion of who would win and why. And,
It's not like a death battle either, so there won't be actual killing either.
no. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you can specify if you think it would end that way, but it's not like saying, oh, it will end that way. It's more of like what you think would happen. Um, And the reason why I wanted to choose like these two is like they're two characters that are usually pretty recognizable because like Black Lagoon and Cowboy Bebop are more uh, like accessible shows for like newcomers and such.
Yes.
And they're both like guns. They're both gunslingers who live on the edge of the law with like a differing moral code. Revy less of a moral code than Spike though. But I'll start us off since I haven't started off any of them yet. As much as I do really love Cowboy Bebop and think that Spike is a badass, I just, and this is a pretty close fight. Personally, I think Revy takes this in a marginable lead, because they both fought like many powerful opponents and such, and have gotten like some serious injuries. But Revy has fought Roberta, who's almost like a Terminator levels of strong. Like she's punched through like a car door. She's taken on mobsters. She's fired a rocket launcher at Revy, which hit like a side of a bar and like knocked her out for a while. But she got up, and the two of them fought like hand to hand, and it was a really close fight. She's taken on a group of a boatload of Nazis. Yes, that did happen. She took on Nazis and it was awesome. She's very athletically inclined. She can like jump several feet in the air. She wields two handguns and has impeccable aim with all of them. And I feel like whenever they're up against similar odds, Spike takes more damage than Revy does. So I do think that she would come out on top. Not like hugely, but just like enough to say I think like she would win this one, personally speaking.
Mm. Okay. Oh, jeez.
If you don't have an answer, you can just you don't have to answer if you don't know one of the characters and such.
It's like the thing here is I kind of know a bit about Spike of who he is because I mostly got the gist of who he is. It is a some bounty hunter or detective whatever guy that goes around turns up, and meanwhile Black Lagoon I've heard nothing of, and I just seen pictures is like this really cool lady here and with pistols is she looked like uh, uh, a Lara Croft of just the way she looks.
Oh, okay. Because of the crop top and the shorts. Probably because of the getup, I'd say, and because Lara Croft does hold two handguns. I guess I kind of see it. I don't know, like, I guess the best way to describe it is Black Goon is kind of about the bad guys, kind of, sort of. And I like that. I like anime that like kind of go about like it's kind of like Overlord, like these are the bad guys, but we're gonna make them fun. Anyway, Nigel.
Okay, here's my answer. Just when I thought the internet could be any more broken, both of these hand cannon holders can pretty much hold up themselves. I just wish I knew more about them. I've seen both animes. I just haven't seen the Roberta OVA series yet. I have to get that collection from Black.
It's pretty good. I really like it.
Okay. I gotta find a copy. Anyway, Revy, because she's actually dual wield Spike, to use gun fu. I know that's not the technical name of his fighting style, but let me have this. I have to go with Revy on this. I'm so sorry about my Space Cowboy fans. But Revy in the series has been shown to be able to fight more with just without guns and with guns than Spike has. Even though she got knocked out by Roberta in the end, but she was just, but in the end, when she's in a rampage, almost nothing can stop her. So I have to go Revy on this one, just because we have seen her use more weapons than Spike has, and we also have seen her fight with tougher opponents. I mean, like, if you really think about it, how many times have we seen Revy fight someone compared to how many times we've seen Spike fight someone in their respective series?
Usually, oh sorry, yeah, because usually Spike comes down to more of like charm and intelligence rather than like pure combat, whereas Revy is a little bit of a airhead in terms of intellectual prowess. She's not exactly the brightest one on the boat. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd probably say she's likely the dumbest one there, but she's not incredibly stupid. Like she knows how to fight. Like she's good at. She's kind of like Goku in a way. Like she knows what she's doing when she's fighting. Everyone else, not so much.
Yes.
Okay, well, then hearing that, then yeah, I would have to go with it was like Webby, unfortunately. Yeah, since like hearing all these amazing feats about her, yeah, I can honestly see her winning in this. Is but yeah.
So it looks like it's a unanimous vote for Revy. Sorry to you, Space Cowboy fans, all you Bebop dudes, but it looks like Spike does not come on top on this one. But he might get his chance of redemption one day. I am open to any kind of suggestions for anime battles, whether they're absurd and stupid, weird, or pretty straightforward, kind of like this one. Like, and if anyone suggests it in the comments, I'll give credit to whoever said it, and I might tweak it a little bit. Like I might take one character, and then a character I think is a better fit. I already have the one for the next um, battle, and it'll be it's another one that gets like kind of straightforward. I will not reveal it yet. It will only be revealed until next week, but I will say that it should be another fun one. And I'm thinking, since this podcast was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be, I'm thinking I might change it to 3 questions rather than 2. So next week there will be 3 questions instead of 2. There will still be a new discussion, and there will still be the anime battle. So that way you can maybe extend it a little bit. But for now, that's all that's in the episode schedule. But I like this. I've never done a podcast before, but I like having discussions about these kind of things because I do it with my friends all the time, and I wanted to try it with people I haven't really talked to before. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you will be free next week so we can do this. Will you? Please. I'm so lonely.
Yeah, I'll be here next week.
All right. But yeah, if you guys want to see more of this, please let me know. Any suggestions you might have for literally another question, a discussion, a battle, anything. I'm more than open to any suggestions. And have a great day, all you people.
Bye.
Bye.